In this demo, I will show you how to create a chart repository using AWS S3. So in the previous lecture, I did an install using our chart, but our chart was locally available. It was on Git, and we had to check out the Git repository to then install the chart. Now I will put a chart in a repository so that you can just use Helm install and then the package name rather than having to use the directory. To be able to do this demo, you need an AWS account and you will need to create an S3 bucket. I'm here again in my Kubernetes course in the Helm directory. Here I have a README. In this README, it also explains how to set up a Helm repository. Let's have a look at this file, setup s3 helm repo.sh, setup s3 helm repo.sh. And this is a simple bash script that will set up the repository for us. First, we're going to create a random string because every S3 bucket needs to be unique. So it's easier to just append a random part to your S3 bucket name so that you are sure it's unique. It is important to set the AWS region. And if you're not set, you can change the default here. So my default region is EU West 1 because I don't really have an AWS region set. Then we're going to create the S3 bucket. And for that, we're going to use the AWS tool, the AWS command line utility. So you will have to install this tool if you haven't already. In one of the first lectures where I explain about kops, I explain how to install it. And in the same lecture, I also explain how to set up the credentials to create an admin user in AWS and to use those credentials. Those need to be configured before you can execute this command. I will not explain this again now, but if you haven't done so, please go to one of the first lectures to set up AWS first. If the bucket is in US East 1, you can just do AWS S3 API create bucket. If it's not, then you have to pass the region and the create bucket configuration. Once we have our S3 bucket, we can install the S3 Helm plugin install from this GitHub repository. We can then initialize the S3 bucket. So we're going to create a directory charts, and in this directory charts, we will have our charts uploaded. And then we can add the repository to Helm. So Helm repo add my charts, Helm random string / charts. And from that point, we can upload charts to our S3 repository. So make sure that your AWS credentials are set up correctly. To test, you can do AWS STS get caller identity, for example, to get your username, your user ID, and your account ID. If you get output and not an error, then your AWS access is working. Then you can do setup s3 helm repo.sh. So this script set up our Helm repository. So Helm, this is a random string. It downloaded and installed the Helm S3 plugin, the S3 plugin. It initialized an empty repository in this chart directory in the S3 bucket, and it added my charts to our repository. So if you do Helm repo list, we now have my charts in our repository list. So now we can add our demo chart to this list. So let's have a look at our README again. First, we need to make sure that we export our AWS region. If you don't have it set in AWS, let's do to make sure, export AWS region EU West 1. And then we have here our demo chart. So we have our demo chart that we installed earlier. Now we want to package this one. So we do Helm chart package, successfully package the chart and save it to demo chart 001 in a gzip tar. So now we can push it, Helm S3 push, my chart repository. So let's do that. And now the demo chart is pushed to our repository. So if you do Helm search demo chart, then we get our local version and the one that we pushed to our repository. And now anyone who adds this other repository can use our chart. So they don't need this directory anymore. They can just use this repository and then do Helm install, the name of the repository, my charts, and then demo chart, the name of our chart. And this will then install again the demo chart, but this time using the repository. We will just delete the chart again, Helm delete, and then the name of the deployment, and the chart is going to be deleted again. So the next obvious step, once you created a repository, is to then use a CI or a CD, like continuous integration or continuous deployment tool, to build this package and then push this package to this repository so that you don't have to do this local anymore. So that's it for this demo. In the next demo, I will then show you how to integrate it within Jenkins, a continuous integration platform.